we got training camp. So, how is every team looking right about now?
Last year, ESPN Analytics gave Detroit a 1% chance to win the division. The tables have turned this year, though. The Lions are favored to win the division, while Green Bay to finish last.
With preseason play just around the corner, here's how all 32 NFL teams are stacking up as we dive into the latest edition of our Power Rankings. Number 32, Arizona Cardinals. Last time's ranking, 32. The Cardinals released DeAndre Hopkins a month after the draft, leaving Hollywood Brown as the team's top receiver. We still have no idea when Kyler Murray plays, if he plays at all in 2023. A long year awaits in the desert. Number 31, Houston Texans. Last time's ranking, 29. Early indications are that CJ Stroud will indeed be the Texans' Week 1 starter, as he should be. The Texans have nothing to lose this year, so why hold back on his development? Number 30, Indianapolis Colts. Last time's ranking, 30. Veteran Gardner Minshew and rookie Anthony Richardson are battling it out for the QB1 job. Do the Colts play it safe and give Richardson time to develop and familiarize himself with the pros? Or do they throw him out there and see if he can provide a quick spark to this rebuilding squad? Number 29, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last time's ranking, 28. Baker Mayfield seems to have the inside track on the starting QB job over Kyle Trask, but the third-year signal caller still has time to tighten up the race. The Bucs certainly have one of the worst QB situations heading into 2023, but of course, the good news is that they still reside in the wide-open NFC South. It might just take 7 wins to claim a third straight division title. Number 28, Chicago Bears. Last time's ranking, 31. The Bears won't be a playoff team in 2023, but this feels like the year we finally see a jump from a team that's been mired in long-term mediocrity. This ought to be the year that the Bears finally show glimpses of a promising future, right? Number 27, Las Vegas Raiders. Last time's ranking, 26. Not exactly a good offseason in Sin City. The Raiders couldn't reach a long-term deal with Josh Jacobs, who doesn't at all seem keen on playing 2023 under the franchise tag. We're still confused by the decision to swap out Derek Carr for Jimmy Garoppolo, but only time will tell if that switch pans out. On the bright side, Garoppolo, dealing with a foot injury, passed the Raiders' physical and received clearance for training camp, so they at least got that. Number 26, Carolina Panthers. Last time's ranking, 27. First overall pick Bryce Young secured the bag, a shiny $37.9 million on his rookie deal. Up next, time for Young to follow the 2011 version of Cam Newton's footsteps and show this frustrated Carolina fan base that better days are on the horizon. Number 25, Washington Commanders. Last time's ranking, 24. The Commanders didn't endure any dramatic roster changes this offseason, but the exit of Dan Snyder, who sold the Commanders to Josh Harris, is pretty much an equivalent to trading for Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow. Heck, it might be even better. We cannot stress enough just how toxic and horribly miserable Snyder made everything for this once proud football team. Who wouldn't be happy for this club and its fans if they found immediate success under the Harris-led ownership group? Number 24, Green Bay Packers. Last time's ranking, 23. The Packers silenced the naysayers back in 2008 with a smooth and highly successful transition from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. Will history repeat itself as the Pack move on from A-Rod towards the Jordan Love era? Well, it won't be fair to fully judge Love after one full season as a starter, but next year's draft class is loaded with grade A QB prospects. So this might be Love's only shot to prove himself to the Cheeseheads brass. Number 23, the Atlanta Falcons. Last time's ranking, 25. It's no secret that the Falcons are going with second-year product Desmond Ridder as their starting quarterback, and he certainly isn't lacking playmakers around him. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Tyler Algier, and of course, rookie running back Bijan Robinson. Throw in Arthur Smith's brilliance as an offensive-minded coach, and it's not a stretch to think that Smith's Falcons could push for double-digit wins and a division crown. Number 22, Los Angeles Rams. Last time's ranking, 21. We know what the Rams are capable of. They can win the Super Bowl as we saw 2 seasons ago, or they can sink to the bottom of the barrel of the league standings. Ultimately, it comes down to the health of Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald, the team's core 3 players who all missed significant time last year. If things continue to go sideways in 2023, don't be surprised if Les Snead goes from the ultimate all-in GM to the architect of a scorched earth rebuild. Number 21, Denver Broncos. Last time's ranking, 20. Broncos' chances of a turnaround in 2023 come down to the play of Russell Wilson and nobody else, pure and simple. The Broncos surrendered a lot to land future Hall of Famer and head coach Sean Payton with the hopes that he can turn Wilson back into his Pro Bowl form. Truthfully, Wilson's gonna have to have a vintage Wilson year for the Broncos to compete in the super loaded AFC. Number 20, Tennessee Titans. Last time's ranking, 22. The Titans crushed the draft, then hit another home run before training camp by inking 5-time Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins to a 2-year deal in free agency. There is the true WR1 Tennessee needed after trading A.J. Brown. Now imagine if 2022 first-rounder Treylon Burks can step up and produce after an inconsistent rookie year. Number 19, New England Patriots. Last time's ranking, 18. The Patriots are a team to follow closely this year. Reports out of Foxborough indicate that Bill Belichick could be on the hot seat, and that another disappointing season could prompt Robert Kraft to fire the greatest coach in NFL history. A bounce-back season in 2023 will put all the hot seat talk to rest. For 18, Cleveland Browns. Last time's ranking, 19. With Deshaun Watson eligible to play the entire season, the Browns have absolutely no more excuses. They ought to be a playoff team in 2023. Otherwise, not-so-patient owner Jimmy Haslam will have to make considerable changes. Number 17, New Orleans Saints. Last time's ranking, 17. Thanks to Tom Brady's retirement and Derek Carr's arrival, the Saints are the clear-cut favorites to win the NFC South. It's now just a matter of Carr executing with a wealth of playmakers and for the Saints defense to stay healthy after an injury-ravaged year. Number 16, Detroit Lions. Last time's ranking, 16. The Lions won the early stages of the offseason, but second-year wideout Jameson Williams carelessly violated the NFL's gambling policy and was handed down a 6-game suspension. Then a free agent signing and standout safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson suffered a non-contact knee injury at training camp and had to be carted off. Fortunately, an MRI showed there was no structural damage, so good for that. The Lions spent a lot of money this offseason to build off an unexpected 9-win season. Is this the year it finally comes together? Number 15, Minnesota Vikings. Last time's ranking, 14. The Vikings incredibly went 11-0 in one-score games during the 2022 regular season, only to fittingly lose a one-score game to the New York Giants in the wildcard round. So, not to scare Vikings fans, but history shows that they are bound to regress big time in one-score games. Number 14, New York Jets. Last time's ranking, 15. It's only practice in training camp, but Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson sure look ready to rain terror across the rest of the league in 2023. Now they just need to execute in the actual meaningful games. Number 13, Pittsburgh Steelers. Last time's ranking, 13. The Steelers haven't had a losing season since 2003. Inevitable improvement from Kenny Pickett, George Pickens, and the offensive line lead us to firmly believe that the Steelers' non-losing season streak will continue in 2023. Number 12, New York Giants. Last time's ranking, 12. Failing to secure a long-term deal with Saquon Barkley will disappoint many Giants fans. But Barkley's situation aside, the Giants are still in good shape to build off a surprising and successful 2022 campaign. Number 11, Los Angeles Chargers. Last time's ranking, 10. The Chargers have 5-star talents on both sides of the ball and should be in the upper echelon of Super Bowl contender. It's just, well, how much can you trust a team that always finds incredible ways to blow games? Number 10, Miami Dolphins. Last time's ranking, 11. The Dolphins' hopeful jump to Super Bowl contender comes down to a healthy Tua Tagovailoa. If he plays all 17 games, an offense led by Tua, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle can match up with just about any other. But let's not ignore what that defense is capable of either. They added Jalen Ramsey and hired one of the game's all-time great defensive minds in Vic Fangio to serve as DC. With immense talent on both sides of the ball, Miami can easily compete for the AFC East crown. Number 9, Jacksonville Jaguars. Last time's ranking, 9. The young Jaguars won the AFC South and a playoff game last season. So, what do they do for an encore? Getting Evan Ingram locked up on a 3-year extension was a nice cherry on top for Trent Baalke's offseason. We don't doubt the Jaguars' ability to win another division, but can they actually hang in there with the AFC's top dogs? Number 8, Baltimore Ravens. Last time's ranking, 7. The Ravens won the offseason once they handed Lamar Jackson a $260 million extension. The Ravens have gone 45-16-0 with Jackson as their starting QB. So we don't need to really explain any further why they're a bona fide contender as long as he is the one behind center. Good work, Baltimore. Number 7, Seattle Seahawks. Last time's ranking, 8. Perhaps no team had a better offseason than the Seahawks. Promising rookie corner Devin Witherspoon joins a loaded defense that brought back Bobby Wagner and added Draymond Jones to its front seven. If Geno Smith can show that 2022 wasn't a one-hit wonder thing, then these Hawks will remain contenders in a very lackluster NFC. Number 6, Dallas Cowboys. Last time's ranking, 6. Same deal with the Cowboys. All-world talent on offense and defense. This year's group features 2 new faces in speedy wideout Brandon Cooks and Pro Bowl cornerback Stephon Gilmore. On paper, Dallas should be a Super Bowl contender. But can a team renowned for choking every year actually get over the hump in 2023? Number 5, Buffalo Bills. Last time's ranking, 5. Feels like folks are sleeping on the Bills a little bit this year, following another disappointing playoff exit. Can we remind you that they had the number 2 scoring offense and number 2 scoring D last year, and that Von Miller is back after suffering a season-ending ACL tear late last year? Look, count out the Bills at your own risk. They're still as good as any other team when healthy and on their game. Number 4, San Francisco 49ers. Last time's ranking, 3. Honestly, you can take last year's final 4 teams and stack them up however you want. You can't go wrong either way. The only reason the 49ers fall out of the top 3 is because of the uncertainty at QB. Is Brock Purdy healthy and ready to throw? If not, is Trey Lance healthy and capable of leading the offense? If not, is Sam Darnold ready for a career revival under Kyle Shanahan? All those questions surrounding the game's most important position remain the only concern for a team that otherwise might have the best roster in football. Number 3, Cincinnati Bengals. Last time's ranking, 4. Having fallen just short of a second straight Super Bowl appearance, we needn't hype up the Bengals on our own here. Joe Burrow is at worst the 3rd best QB in the game. Bengals have the best receiving trio in the game and a top 10 defense. It just comes down to getting those few extra bounces against Kansas City and the other top AFC clubs in January. Number 2, Philadelphia Eagles. Last time's ranking, 2. Not really much more to say here. The Eagles are one non-holding call away from potentially preparing for a Super Bowl repeat. They are the deepest team in football from top to bottom with no clear weaknesses. Jalen Hurts proved that he can break through in pressure-packed moments. If not for San Fran, Philly is the team to beat in the NFC. Number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. Last time's ranking, 1. Game's best QB, the game's best head coach, the game's best tight end, the reigning Super Bowl champs. Seriously, what more can you ask for here? But who do you think is the team to beat heading into the NFL preseason? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.